hear me okay? This is Courtney.
Yep, we can hear you. Thank you.
These are all good to go. They're all Dickinson and addresses.
Okay.
Right, are we waiting on anything?
No.
I think we're ready to roll.
Okay, well, apologies for being remote today. Thanks for, trying to make it work with my schedule. I'm gonna call the meeting to order. You guys let me know if it makes sense for somebody there to be kind of running a little bit more with this than I am. I can't see anybody, but I can see the agenda. So I will proceed unless I get an objection. Oh, there I can see you guys. Okay, we will call the meeting to order. And I'll start with, I lost my documents. Now that I can see you guys, I can't see the agenda anymore. So hold on, let me pull it up separately.
Madam Chairman,
Right. Yes.
I would move that maybe we appoint Vice Chair Dustin Elkin to run the meeting. I think it would just be easier for you and everybody involved.
I agree, and I think that was Neil. Dustin, I assume you're there. Oh, I
Yep.
see Dustin.
Yep.
He's nodding his head
Okay, so
Yep.
there-
up and down.
All right, so we have a motion. Is there a second?
A second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Pose same sign. All right.
Dustin.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Dustin.
All right. I guess we'll take a quick attendance. Commissioner Claris,
Here.
Commissioner Franchuk,
Here.
Commissioner Marsh.
Here.
Commissioner Messer,
Here.
Commissioner White,
Here.
Chairman Prestes,
Here.
and Vice Chair's here. Okay, I guess special meeting, so do we have a motion to approve the agenda? We can't add in or subtract anything, so,
So move.
okay.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Messner, second by Commissioner Claris. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, motion carries. All right, so I guess we're here today to discuss. We thank everybody for coming. Appreciate filling the room, showing involvement and everything. That's really great. I guess we're here to discuss the options with the Speedway as we go forward, either to repair, possibly sell, or do nothing and operate as we are. So first thing, I guess we'd probably like to have some representatives from the group that's gonna attempt to run this deal, kind of kick things off, and then we'll probably move into the public comments that we got here, and then I guess get back into discussion on the bids.
Okay,
Thank
Darcy
you.
Dennis with the Southwest Speedway Rough Rider Motorsports. I did give you all a sustainability plan that we had worked out. It does have on the second page kind of roughly what our projected numbers would be for next year. We did go up by like a 5% increase. I mean, I guess I would like to say next racing season, because I don't know what we're gonna be able to do this season exactly, if you guys, with approval, of course. We'd kind of discussed a little bit, and I know that we've talked a lot about what we want to do moving forward on our end. We've talked about you guys wanting numbers. I mean, we've gone up every year in the past 5 years on the revenue. The stuff that we gave you guys here is low. We didn't add in concessions on that, I don't think. And we've kind of looked at, if we do this and go 501c3, the amount of grants, the amount of things that are out there that we could do towards improvements. We as a group have discussed, just kind of where we see ourselves going forward. And then on the last page, you guys wanted to know who was going to be it. And so that's a list of the board members that we want to run this. Do you guys have any questions on the plan?
That's a nice plan.
Okay.
You said you're gonna be a 501c3?
Yes, that is our plan moving forward. And we have discussed with a lawyer already on moving forward with that. The price to hire them out and to get everything done would be like $1,500 to $2,000 to hire them to make sure everything goes. And then I think, if I'm right, 2 months, they said that we would have that all in order and in place. So, I mean, we have started moving forward roughly, just looking into going forward with this. And then we do have the motocross numbers are in there as a separate sheet. We gave you guys the numbers that we could find, but before that, we couldn't get anything. But I was gonna try to call your guys' attention to the number of the age there for the youth and just how big that is out there. Any questions for me right now? Or anything more that you guys needed?
I just want to start with, you say, or you mentioned a 9-event schedule
Yep.
for 27. Is that, as many events that you, I mean, what's typical for?
That's, I mean, within the last 5 years, I feel like that's kind of where we've been running it with the trailer races, you know, the beater class races, our season. And then I don't know if the motocross events were in that. I don't think those were in that 9. So they'd basically be just kind of the speedway side numbers. I know the motocross does have 4 events coming up. It's 2 events, but 4 nights. Those numbers for the motocross side are also in the projection, or they had been, you know, in our past revenue.
How many classes a night are you talking?
5.
Okay.
Is it 6? It's 6. Sorry.
6 classes?
It's my first time.
Okay. Well, I know that they've had more scheduled nights in years past, right?
Yes.
There's been like 14s,
Yep.
right?
Yep. And we've found from running both, I mean, because I was involved with that board for 10 years, and we would run anywhere from 10 to 14 races a year. And what you see, I mean, we've seen that our numbers have gone up by running less, just due to weather. Your May and your August, you're still up against high school sports, which, I mean, me as a mom, I would be at my kids' games, you know? So you're up against, like I said, the cold in both of those months. You're up against high school sports. You're up just against kind of a lot. So we kind of noticed that most of your attendance happens in June and July. So we had dropped our format down quite a bit, just due to the fact that, like I said, usually you cannot run in May. If we give people too much, they pick and choose what they come to. If you give them less, they do more. We've also said that with like our double headers. I know it's great for racers, it's great for a lot, but you'll have fans that choose to go whether just the Friday or just the Saturday. So we've kind of gotten rid of those too. And like I said, we've just kind of seen our numbers go up by having less events out there. I mean, if we could figure out a way to make it work and have 14, it's a lot of work, but it's fun. Anything else?
So what's the status of the equipment out there? I think Brad, where's Brad? Raise your hand. He's hiding.
He's trying to hide.
He's
He
hiding.
didn't want to talk tonight.
Yeah. So your plan in regards to equipment is to purchase the equipment from Brad and use that, or get it?
Half of the equipment at this point is, I should say, it's been half paid for at this point.
Okay.
So if this stuff moves forward, the plan would, for them to be to buy the other half at that point.
And
So,
they being this group?
correct.
Okay.
So they've already, full transparency, when I took over, the previous board had a debt. Basically, alls I did is said, this is what I'm gonna give you for what's out there. Just to be fair, this was the number. Alls I did is said, this was that amount that I paid, here you go, it's the same identical amount. Kirk was a part of that board and those conversations, he can attest. Now, I added equipment to that list as well. I added timing and scoring, 2 different water trucks. I only added a small portion of money for that stuff. So they have given me 20,000 already. The next 20 will come once everything's squared away.
Okay. Anything else for me?
So projected annual gross revenue of 120K for 2027.
Yep.
Can we have, is there any idea what you're gonna net out of that 120K?
That I don't know. Alex had kind of come up with a lot of this stuff by going over the last couple of years. But I'm not 100% positive on that one.
What was the question?
What net would be for this, like a
For 120.
projected net?
Yeah.
For 27.
Yep.
They're projecting 120K gross revenue.
120K, you could probably say there's gonna be
An extra 20?
$1,000 considering doing well on sponsorship.
Yep.
Okay, do we have any other questions for
No,
Darcy?
listen to other spokesmen for the speed group.
I have a question
Yeah.
for Darcy and the group. Have you shared this with the rest of the racers?
No,
How many racers know about this?
about the projections or
Right,
what?
and about these people that are gonna take over? And the board you set up?
Not a whole lot yet, because we don't know what's happening.
Okay. When it was,
State your name, please.
my name's Randall James Almer. I'm a very avid race car driver, spectator. I travel around the state a lot. This facility out here is one of the best. There's nothing like it in the state. Racers and drivers will say that right straight out. I still think that Southwest Speedway, the organization that had it before Brad did, can still run that place. It just was mismanaged for the last couple of years that it was run by that group. And I still think there's racing to be done in 26. We don't have to wait till 27. There's nothing out at that racetrack.
Nobody said nothing about, there still can be racing in 26.
Have some order here.
Well, you're projecting at 27.
To do a full season
Right.
possibly, yeah.
There's nothing out there that's made that racetrack unsafe to race at right now, at this point. That needs to be absolutely addressed, that, to my knowledge. And I've talked to a lot of people. I know there's a lot that needs to be done. It doesn't all need to be done in 1 year, or 2 years, or 3 years. We can get help if we get help from the county, if we get help from the city, which nobody's approached the city for any money. And nobody's approached the state for recreational money. There's organizations out there and there's money to be made that can be brought here to western North Dakota to be used at this racetrack. Both the motocross and the speedway for race cars. I think that an organization needs to be put together again with everybody's knowledge that races. This information that Darcy's presenting, I don't think there's anybody in here, but maybe, what? How many people in here have heard this? It's
I
not
mean-
been shared.
No, no, it has not.
But I still think that Southwest Speedway, the group that had it before Brad, can reorganize, get some more money from other, I mean, there's a lot of businesses in this town that donate time to do things out there.
You have a group that's trying to do this.
Let's,
Yep.
just
Hold
hold
on.
on.
Well-
Let's let him finish that phone, Brad.
Well, I think that's what needs to be addressed here too, is that there's just not this that's put together that hasn't been shared with all the racers.
We've
We need to get a meeting together and do this as soon as possible.
We've advertised for people that'd be interested. This is the only group that came forward.
This,
Not their plan, but we've advertised for people to come forward, interested in leasing it, interested in buying it, whatever they want to do. This is the only group that's come forward to us. And that was advertised publicly.
And this is the first opportunity they've had to give us, their information too, so, I mean, it's new to us.
well, I think that a lot of these guys in here, the race car drivers and everything else, would like to see it go back to a board that's from the people that are here. Who are the members that are on this board? You know, I think it needs to
A
go
lot of it-
back. Yeah,
Yeah, so, I mean, and like I said, we're not trying to keep anything from anybody. That is a absolute bold promise there. Like, it's just, no, I know you're not saying that right now. But just with us, all of us in the room not knowing exactly what the future is going to be, we just haven't put anything in absolute black and white until basically right now. So, I mean, right now for the racing group, board names that we have so far is me, myself, Casey Benstock, Jeremy Benstock, Alex Braun, Scott Roberts, Greg Madler, and we threw Brad Hardigan in there too, whether he wants it or not. But, I mean, for right now, this is just kind of where we're at, and I mean, we're really in the beginning process of it, so like I said, to get the info out there as to what's happening, like, we don't know. So it was kind of the same thing I've told these guys here is like, to move forward with this, you kind of need a concrete answer on whether this is going to move forward or not.
So the question I would have
Yep.
is, if there's others who are interested in joining your board, sounds like you're open to that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, we just want, everybody here in this group right now so far, I mean, we all want this place to absolutely succeed, because if you didn't want that, you wouldn't join it, you know? I know that everybody here supporting it right now feels the same way as I do, you know? And so, I mean, if anybody wanted to step up and help, yeah, we'll take you with open arms. So,
I
I
don't
think
have,
you got your first volunteer right next to you.
I don't have a problem with these
No.
board people. But are we gonna have membership with this?
we haven't
That-
discussed that.
I think that needs to be discussed, because if you don't have input by the drivers and the the people, these people make all the decisions and we don't get nothing.
Yeah, we haven't.
If you're saying 8 or 9 races a year, I think this place out here could support at least 10. Or put 14 on the schedule, even if you don't race them all, if it gets rained out.
Yeah,
At least you have them scheduled.
yeah.
You know, that's the input I would like to see put into, even
Yeah.
this group. Darcy, I don't
Yeah,
have
no,
nothing
no,
against
no.
what you guys are doing.
No, and like, I feel like a lot of that would come, you know, if this goes forward and we make a board, I mean, just to have like a specific Speedway meeting where you guys can all come and tell us exactly how you feel about everything.
We'd like to be part of it.
Yeah.
As a
Yeah.
bunch of spectators and racers
Yeah,
and everything,
and-
to be a member of this
Yeah,
and have input.
yeah, and to move forward, I mean, you
Right.
do need input from, I mean, same thing as here, you need input from the county members, you know, and so, yeah, I mean,
Well,
we're
I'd
not
like-
opposed to that.
But I'd like this to be distributed amongst all of us, so we know what's going on.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
we can get you
get-
copies made, and everybody before they walk out the door can get access if you'd be okay with
Yeah,
that.
I mean, like I said, we're an open book on this. I mean, it's nothing secretive at all. It's just, like I said, it was kind of,
Well, I mean,
Throw 'em
you
together.
just formed your group, so maybe the next step would be to get a meeting together with all your
Yes.
stakeholders.
Yeah.
And hash it out a little bit further.
and that's where I think it would go, like I said, but I mean, we kind of need almost like a basic yes or no, we're doing this or we're not, you know, before we go too far.
That's basically where you're at.
Yep.
When I met with you folks last Monday, I disagree that, I mean, it's not one or the other. Both things need to happen simultaneously
Yeah.
here. I mean, I think the county needs to see this group's plan and
Mm-hmm.
who they are and their vision before they make an investment. I look at it as an investment in the
Yes.
future of your racetrack.
Yes, and that's kind of why we gave
Yes.
you our projections and stuff like that. And like I said, if you guys need anything moving forward, we would absolutely do that. Yeah.
Thank you.
I thank you guys for your,
Any
I'll
other,
talk to you on the phone and so on.
any other questions for Darcy? Okay,
Frank, do you need me or no? No? Okay.
We always need you.
Well, thanks.
Well, I just want to make a comment on this. Last Friday, Brad and I spent about 2 hours walking around out there at the track. Obviously, the weather wasn't like today. And we looked at all the issues and items out there. And the bottom line is the water issue. That's been there from day one, the first time that track was built. And Bob Steyer and I, we called KLJ on the carpet many times about the drainage problems. And yeah, it's fixed. It's not going to be a problem. Everything got done. The first rain came, and guess what? Everything from here was on the track. So we had gravel on the track where we never had gravel on that track. That track is one of the places you could race at in North Dakota, where you're not going to get your head knocked off by a gravel stone. But we kept cleaning it up, trying to fix it. It's better now than it was. But as far as insurability and racing this season, I don't see any reason why we can't have a full season out there. Because when the insurance guy comes up to the track, gets out of his car and takes a look, the first thing he's going to see is the catch fence. So if we fix the catch fence, he's going to look around the other stuff and say, hey, this place looks pretty good. Could be it. But if he comes out there and the catch fence isn't bad, that's it. And the thing is, you could go out there and temporarily fix the catch fence for now, but it's going to go right back to where it was if you don't fix the water problem.
That's right.
So the bids you have in front of you, I think we need to step up and move this thing forward and get it done. We just can't keep kicking the can down the road. Because pretty soon the frost's going to be out of the ground. We could have contractors out there working on this stuff. We could still race. Like Darcy said, June and July, and that's a proven fact. Those are the 2 big months for racing attendance. School's out. August, school's getting ready to start. So July and August, people are on vacation. They know there's racing. They stop in. People are traveling. By August, a lot of the racers are on their last dime, and they're probably only staying here. You know how it goes. I've done it for 26 years, so I can say that with some authority that, you know. So that's something to think about.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Okay, I guess we'll just take these comment forms in the order they were giving me. Paul Johansson. And I guess please state your name for the, not that I just didn't, but for the minutes and,
I'm Paul Johansson, Dickinson resident for 26, 27 years now. I've been on the board in the past. I was unfortunately part of the board when we had problems as well, but I have different opinions. Main thing I want to say and get out there is I want to see the track continue because every major city in this state has a racetrack. Jamestown, Mandan right next to Bismarck, Fargo, West Fargo, if you will, Grand Forks, Minot, Williston. If we don't have that, we're kind of an outlier. I mean, even small communities, McLean County Speedway, there's, and if we don't have that, we look like we're not a full-fledged city, I think, in this, or county in the state. So I think we need to keep it. And I have different opinions on the gentleman that spoke earlier. Sometimes you get a board and there's too many people involved in a decision. That can be hard too. I didn't always agree with what Brad did, but at least a decision is made without so many different opinions that you can't come to a consensus either. So, whichever way it works out, that's fine with me. But I donated a lot of hours out there myself, and I'd like to see the place continue. So I sure hope that you can help us make that happen. Thank you.
thank you, Paul. Okay, next up, we've got Gage Johnson, I think. Okay.
First, I would like to thank Samantha and Brad Hardigan. Your early mornings, late nights, countless hours didn't go unnoticed at the Speedway. I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Gage Johnson. I'm 12 years old. I'm driver of a Legend Class race car 405. I'm going to ask you a quick question. In the past 2 years, how many times have you came out to watch a race? You don't have to answer that. But I would want to invite you out to the track. Watch a race in the pits. And if you do, Gage Johnson Racing would love to buy your pit pass, and you're welcome to hang out at the trailer and see what racing is all about. I've also brought each one of you a hat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Supposed to accept this
I was just gonna say, is this,
Yeah,
this is gonna look slow.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Gage.
Sir.
Every bald guy needs a hat. Thank you.
Let me tell you what racing is to me. It's Saturday nights at my home track. It's the night before, getting the car ready, trailer packed. Early Saturday mornings, Mom cooks us breakfast and makes us coffee before yelling at us to hurry up and get the trailer loaded. We have to get to the track. Racing is one of the only things my sister's mom and I do as a family and all love. Speaking of family, the racetrack racers are some of the strongest family. I wrecked last year, and racers I didn't even know jumped in to help get the car fixed, and helped Mom load the car in the trailer. It's where I watch other racers and ask their advice in the pits. I look up to them. Some of my idols are Noah and Gage Mather, Travis Tooley, Cole Lewis, and Travis Omer. My favorite race was the 4th of July. I raced good and late model classes was brought to the Speedway. It brought more racers and fans to the stands. The repairs need to be made to the Speedway to keep our sport alive and able to handle new classes. Make it so we can have a constant race schedule to keep racers traveling to our track. Many small businesses put their logo on cars for advertisement and sponsorship. Gage Johnson Racing would like to donate all 2026 sponsorship money to the track repairs, and instead of asking for car sponsorship, we will be asking for track donations this year. This is where many people found their interest in racing like me, or where people came to watch their favorite racer. This is where my first race was, where we would come as a family to sit on the fence side till I could race, where I had my first wreck. I have a ton of memories at that track. This was my first race season. Please don't make it my last. There are a whole generation of us that are 10, 12 years old racing to keep the sport alive.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Gage. Okay, up next we got Kirk Wojon.
Morning, guys. Afternoon, actually. I've been involved with the track for quite a while. Been involved with a few things around Dickinson, North Dakota. When I first came back from Washington State, I set up a drag race at the airport, and which was hugely successful. One thing that I think the guy might be forgetting on some of this stuff is the amount of volunteers that go into this stuff. Give you an example of, these guys are talking about, volunteers for track prep or water truck hauling and whatever it takes. A lot of that stuff is always, of course, free time stuff. You got to find a couple guys that'll do it. You got to find somebody that's going to work the track during the day, someone that's going to work the corners, somebody that's going to flag, somebody's going to run the concessions. It's a pretty big deal. So, and every week or every event, I know what Brad struggles with too is to put the heads in the places that need to be so that you can actually run a good show. One of the things about Dickinson that I think is really unique was something that a friend of mine that raced told me. He said, if I was going to spend the money and buy a racetrack, he said, this would be the one right here in Dickinson. This is coming from a guy that's raced all his life across the whole United States on every dirt track you can imagine, most of them many, many, many times over. But this track, because of the cleanness, the surface, the people, the location, he put that so high on his mark that that's what he thought was really what, if he was throwing his money down, he would be the guy that would pick that up and do it. We have a very unique spot right here. We got good clay. Most of the time we got pretty decent weather. Springtime's kind of a bugger, but we do the best we can. Sometimes it's raining in Dickinson and it's not raining at the track. Try to get that message to the public is sometimes tough. They'll look out the window and say, I'm not going. And it's sunny skies out south, but there is some advantages to being in the spot that it is put into, or it has been built into. I don't have to say nothing about the youth. Young man said it, he stole my show on that deal. Did a great job. There's a lot of people around here. I think there's some untapped resources. A lot of people have come from out of, around the country to come up here, and a lot of them weren't even sure we had a racetrack. So there's some work to be done there as far as getting people to be aware of what's going on. I just don't think that there's any reason not to
to move forward. Sure, there's some struggling times, some low times and things like that, but you know, that's what we're supposed to do. That's why you see all these heads in here, is everybody wants to make this happen. So that's pretty much everything that I have on my list. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Kirk. Okay, up next, Jeff Milkey. Miller, maybe? There we go. Hey,
I'm not going to claim anybody that's not me.
yeah.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Jeff Miller. Stark County homeowner, taxpayer, like most people. I just got a couple of short notes that I wanted to present. Give you a little background. For me, this track, and I can see already, I'm not the only one in here. This scenario fits, but I'm a multi-generation racer. I've been going out there since 1982, and I can probably count on my hand how many times I've missed it, the races. I am a volunteer. On the initial startup when we redid this track, I was one of the crew members that, along with many other people, that put the grandstands together. I also helped with the guardrail. I built and assembled and installed the countertops in the announcer's booth at my own expense. And this action is not unique by any means of measurement, because that's all we live on as volunteers. So with that said, I guess also I'm like I said, a third generation racer. I raced out there. I built cars for my two children. And now this year, I've got two grandsons racing out there. So that does mean a hell of a lot to me. To me, these assets that we got as a county, this fairground, this racetrack, those are unequal grounds. Those are both extremely expensive investments, both made for the enjoyment of the community and, you know, in the surrounding area. And everybody has their different tastes. You may or may not like racing. That's fine. You may or may not like rodeos. That's okay. But we provide this stuff for the enjoyment and the camaraderie of the whole community. No different than a golf course. You know, I like golf courses, but I never golf. But I'm not going to say we should never invest in anything like that. I do want to thank you guys. From what I've seen in the past minutes of the meetings, you guys are a very prudent group. I applaud that. But again, the entities we got out there, I see them as two equal entities. They're both owned by the county. Give the fairgrounds another 10 years, you're going to have to be investing in some maintenance items there too. But I cannot, and I just can't fathom this thing just getting overgrown with weeds. I can't do it. So I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, last one we got is Josh, and I can't even read the last name, so.
Let's see, on the hat giveaway, I'm the bald guy too. Commissioners, community, friends, I'm reaching out with a heavy heart because the racetrack is the cornerstone of my life for over 20 years. It's now at risk of being shut down. When I served on the fair board, representing the racetrack over 20 years ago, I poured my passion into seeing it thrive alongside the new rodeo grounds. My teacher, who championshiped the rodeo facility, and I dreamed of a future where the racetrack, drag strip, and motocross track were all part of the legacy. Sadly, that vision nearly fully never came to life. And now we risk losing something that shaped us all, inspired us, and brought us so many generations together. Please join me in standing up for the racetrack. It's more than just a place, it's a legacy. I hope we can all rally together and ensure the future for generations and the spark of excitement the community deserves. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Are there any comments on Zoom? Okay. All right, so I guess next on the agenda is the.
Well, I think we should
Or
have some, we
comments
should have
or-
some public ask commissioners
Yeah.
for comment.
I guess, my opinion on this is an important venue for southwest North Dakota, not just our county. It's been an icon to our community for many, many years, and I guess I'm happy to see the people here. And I guess wherever this goes, I have to stand with you that we should make the investment, keep it alive.
All right, so I took some notes while we're going through this here. Over the last couple of years of being a commissioner, we've got a lot of ask for dollars that have come through. And a lot of those ask are the frustrations that those people have, whether it's the park board, the fair board, the Rough Rider Commission, is volunteerism. A lot of people can't get it, right? So, and that's something we struggle with. This is probably the biggest crowd I've seen since I've been with the commission. Thank you guys for all showing up. The emails, appreciate every one of them, the text, some of the social media posts. With a group like this, I know I talked with Brad right after the last, I think, race. One of the concerns I had, it looks like there was a lot of fun out there, but we also have to be good stewards to the neighbors that are out there too. There's currently trash in one of the neighbors' fields from one of the last races. Lots of debris, broken glass, a boat sitting out there. And I asked that, I know the road department asked if they would want us to go and clean it up, and I said no. I said, I think we can get the group that's with that racetrack to go and get that trash from last season that's out in the farmer's field and stuff. I am a big supporter of fixing this. It's not the park board and fair board's not part of my portfolio, but I have reached out to the contractors for a lot of the projects out there that we've gotten some of this stuff on. So I think going forward, I don't know how. I think we can work as being good business partners together to make sure this happens and gets taken care of. And I think as a commission, I think that we can make it happen. It is good to hear that we don't have to have a lot of this done for a season to start this year.
So
Go ahead.
I do have to comment on that. So I've been here for 5 years, and when some of these problems came up, they came up as yellow flags. Needs attention. Well, we'll temporarily fix this. We'll temporarily do that, just like we're going to temporarily fix it for this year. Well, you know what? Next thing you got an amber flag. It's a little bit more important. And then all of a sudden you got a red flag. Now we got a roadblock out there. It's just like when there's a problem, and I totally agree. Both facilities are equally as important to our community.
Mm-hmm.
And now we got roadblocks. I mean, if we would have fixed it right the first time instead of just temporarily, so you got to get the races going. You temporarily fix it. The season goes by, you forget about it. Next year, you're running into the same situation. That's just what I have to add to your comments there.
Mr. Chairman. So I too appreciate everybody here. The passion is obviously well displayed. I appreciate that. I too have had all the emails, all the phone calls. I don't recognize a lot of the faces here, but I recognize the voices when they come up to the microphone. I think if we're going to move forward, then we need to move forward also in accurate information, right? And a lot of the emails I got, there was an insinuation that if these repairs weren't done or if something wasn't done immediately, that the track at the Speedway was going to close. That was never said. That was never voiced. You can go through the last minutes and the last video of the meeting. I specifically remember three things: do nothing, repair it, or sell. Right? I mean, those were the conversations that were taking place. So certainly, I want that track to be open. I want it to succeed. But on the other hand, I also represent taxpayers in general, all of us, okay? So I did a little research on the history of that track, right? So there was two individuals that owned it, or at least what I could find in researching the minutes and press articles and those kind of things. There was two individuals who owned it, and in 2002, they approached the county to buy it, right? And to buy the 48, it was 40 acres at that point. I think we've since increased it by 7 acres, bought a little bit of land from a neighbor. And the county at that time spent $30,000, bought the speedway from the two individuals. And in researching minutes and articles, I see a lot of names that just came up to the podium. I see the Kleins, I see the Mr. Elmer, I see the Berwick name, I see the Decker name. I see all the names that are here where everybody has, like the last gentleman said, stuck a lot of time and effort in moving the racetrack forward. But I think what's maybe also, so you know where my mindset is, where I'm coming from, is look at the history since 2002. In 2003, the county contracted with KLJ to do a master plan out there. What's this going to look like if they improve it? So they spent $15,000 on that. In 2004, they spent $17,000 to bring the water line, Southwest Water, to the facility, and they also. Someone mentioned it was paved. I don't remember that, but they also spent money on the racetrack. So the water line was $28,400. In 2004 as well, paid Martin Construction $324,000 to do basic dirt work, site level, do all the kind of stuff that was done at the site. 2005 paid Big K Industries $130,400 to help coordinate the bleachers. A lot of you in this room went out there, put nuts and bolts in, and assembled the bleachers. But I think Big K got paid to put the concrete pylons in and got paid for the product to come on site. And I could be wrong on some of this. I'm just going through minutes and notes that I was able to acquire. 2005 as well, they spent $10,500, bought some refurbished fence, I believe, from Mandan, and got that put up. And at that point, they also budgeted $365,000 to put up concessions, build at restrooms, and a couple of other items that were to be improved in 2005 and 2006. So if you add those dollars up, we're north of $950,000. And during that period of time, it's in the minutes, one after another after another. It's the same phone. A lot of the phone calls that I get is that, why are you spending taxpayer money down at the Speedway? And reiterated numerous times, Chairman Nodland, Vice Chairman Bob Zent, Commissioner Chet Willer, and how that was funded. The older, more experienced individuals in this room will remember that it was funded by selling the lots on the west side of Dickinson at whatever increment they did. So they'd sell a bunch of lots, get a pot of money, and they would invest it in there. There's comments in there, and again, I would stand corrected, that the 40 acres would not only include the Speedway, but it also would be potential site of the fairgrounds, okay? And then when the west side where the sign is, where Hobby Lobby and all were gonna go 5-10 years ago, when that was sold, then there was a pivot to take that money and buy the land and do the improvements where the current fairgrounds stands. And so it was reiterated. So I'm assuming that the commission at that point got some pushback on whether or not they should have spent taxpayer money at the fairgrounds, and their logic behind that was that we're selling lots, it's not taxpayer money. So a lot of the conversations I've had, and I think I mentioned it, I think Brad can verify several times, is, and I appreciate your comment that let's make a public-private partnership on this. Brad has mentioned that if you get your 501c3 nonprofit up and running, that there were numerous organizations that would help fund improvements at the Speedway, right? And we asked for dollars, but it was kind of speculation, and I don't know what the exact path to that would be. And I want to support that. But I do struggle if the onus is strictly put on the county to do the improvements out there and yet get $50 a month in lease. Frank, you can tell me, you've told me that the previous years when your group was running it, the rent was significantly higher than that, right? So trying to be good stewards of taxpayer monies. Because it's real easy sitting in this chair to spend other people's money. And so the cost of these improvements, the bids we have is $230,000. I think everyone in this room knows we're not going to get the work done for 230,000. There's too many other issues. You're going to dive into this, and it's going to cost significantly more money. So I'm just going to use, for simple calculation standpoint, let's say it's $300,000 that needs to be done. Numerous individuals here, including the gentleman that was referenced on the Dakota Modified Classic race, I've had a conversation with him, and I've asked everybody, can you have races out there in 2026? Almost unanimously, everybody says you can't. So my idea was, let's create this 3-layered partnership, city, county, speedway, 501c3 of going out and getting some money. And let the race, we don't have to get any rent. Let you guys race whatever you can put together for 2026. It gives you 12 months, or not 12, we'd want to do it a lot earlier, but at least gives you 6 to 9 months to go out and raise some money. And then we can come in and backfill the rest of that money. But if there's no skin in the game, I can tell you the people that I reference or I get phone calls or have coffee with, they're going to say, why didn't you do it for the Badland Big Sticks? Very similar situation. A publicly owned facility, they're up and that brings all kinds of people to town to all this kind of stuff. Why didn't you do it for the Dickinson Trap Club? Family owned, or a family orientated structure, just like the Speedway is. You have tons of people that participate in what you're doing, and they do as well. Or, and we could go up and down the list. So I can justify spending taxpayer dollars if there's multiple players in the room trying to get this done. And it sounds like there's energy to do that. And then the business plan, the sustainability, you obviously made tremendous headway in that regard. So I'd like to see us try that. I'd like feedback on that. So that's my comment. So.
Good, gentlemen, that's good. Go ahead.
Oops.
I guess feedback on that is Frank and I did spend a bunch of time out there. The fencing, the main catch fence in front of the grandstands is actually broken in another spot since the last event.
Okay.
So right middle of the grandstands now, it's just snapped. So I'm not saying that you can't have events, but if an insurance company comes out and looks at that, it's just going to get worse and worse. The far west side has tipped over even further. So
So that's the retaining wall that's got the catch fence on it? Is that what?
yeah, it's like a curb with the catch fence on it.
It's the major portion of the repairs
Yes.
that we're talking about.
Yes. So just to be transparent, like the people that you talked to that said that they can have races, just like this gentleman, have not operated the track in the last 5 years.
And what the gentleman from Dakota Classic,
He also hasn't operated the track in the last 5 years, nor has he physically seen the current conditions.
told me he brought the tour to Dickinson.
He was sitting in his RV on the pit side. I promise you, I know Aaron very well, and
Well, I'm just telling you,
Yeah. So
then-
when I get a phone call, I have to
I
take
know.
those individuals, because we had a lengthy conversation.
I know it.
On the lights, I mean, is that something?
In the light situation, I had a good conversation with Neil at whatever day it was this week, or last week. Yeah, but we had already, you guys had voted on replacing light by or pole by pole as lights went out. So you could consider part of that bid. If you take the light portion out of it, it's substantially less because that portion was already approved.
Right.
So
And I believe there's already been some lights repaired, right?
Just
None of them?
One point of clarification on that, so on the lights just in particular. So it was discussed that the reason for going to LED is basically the element, or
the current bulb is
not available?
Correct.
Correct.
Well, I've got this-
Electric Sales and Services had bought every one they possibly could, and now they are completely out.
I mean, so I've spent way more time on race business than I ever thought I would. But so now, I mean, the original group that worked on, or was it Rough Rider? What was the original group's name?
Rough Rider Racing Association.
Rough Rider Racing. So apparently they had some relationship with Berger Electric, and that's where they got their bulbs and element, whatever they needed out there for those things. And apparently they may still be available. Now, I don't know if that solves your problem or not. I know you
I
want to
mean,
go
there are
LED.
multiple bulbs out, but like I
Yeah.
pointed out to Frankie, there's they don't even stay in place anymore. Like a couple of them are
there's a potential out there for
Yeah,
that.
if the bulbs are available, that is a fix for the lights if they can fix them. I
There's obviously
was
cost
not
and-
part of those conversations. That was a previous lady that handled that. So
Yeah, understand.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I'd like to add, I would just mention that I appreciate all the emails. I got quite a few emails, and all very heartfelt, and I get the family thing, and I mean, Commissioner Messer, did mention, I mean, there's not just racing's got this kind of passion, but it's nice to see that kind of passion. I met with the group. I wish you guys would give yourself a name so I could wouldn't know what to call you. Do you have a name yet? But you have a board, which is fine. So, but that was a week ago, right? And you have come a little ways since then, and that's what I wanted to see. I said at that meeting, I mean, I appreciate the passion. I appreciate all the family thing. And, I mean, I'm visiting with Jerry in that meeting. Jerry's a city commissioner, and, passion's not enough. The hand waving, everyone's passionate, and I get that. That's great. I mentioned it earlier, it's an investment in the future, and I just wanted to make sure, what your group is all about. I'm all for this group and racing moving forward if it's a group that, what was the word I used about 20 times in that meeting? Sustainability. That's all I want to see. Yeah, that's all I wanted to see. What's the plan going forward? How are we going to, as a partner, work together? Because we know this is one issue. And to make it great, to make it better, there's going to be more issues. You may want to do something more, and it would be great if sustainability was this idea that, you actually came with the next ask with some matching funds, right? So the financial plan, building that sustainability into it, I wanted to see that. I think you guys have that idea. I think that you're not quite all fleshed out. I'd like to see you guys engage with more of your stakeholders, and I think you'll get it done. I want to see it happen too, but that was my initial. I was very hesitant about this thing.
We honestly feel like the sky's the limit. I mean,
Yeah.
once we get established.
I mean, so you have to understand my hesitancy initially. This group you didn't even have this much done, and to your defense, I mean, you offered the initial proposal. We had asked that, and this thing kind of got sidelined talking about repairs and versus your proposal, and your voice was never heard, which I wanted to make sure that happened. So, but I agree with. I'd love to see a partnership with all the entities. I think that'd be great.
I just wanted to speak to Mr. Messer and Mr. Clary's talking about skin in the game, talking about, matching funds. And I don't know if anybody kept track of it, but back when the Rough Rider Racing Association was running it, and I was a member of it, you talked about the amount of money that was put in. We built the concession stand that goes on the pit side. We came with the money with that. We didn't ask for that. The stand where the scoring tower is, we built that. We didn't come and ask county for money for that. We have invested some in that track. It's not like we didn't do anything.
And don't misinterpret my comments, because I tried to give credit where I saw it, like assembly of the bleachers and those kind of things. I forgot to mention Frank came in the steel building one year. You guys put that up, came to the commission, said you were going to spend the 20,000 or 12,000, whatever it was. That's there. I'd want to give credit where credit's due, but I also want to. I don't know if everybody in the room knew that the county has almost $1 million in out there right now, because a lot of people don't realize it, and no fault of their own. I didn't realize it until I did the research, and so. And some of these other funding mechanisms, I think you had mentioned it too, was, the grants, the resiliency grant at the Department of Commerce. If you read the application and the criteria, I mean, it spells Speedway. I mean, it talks about all these things, the criteria in order to get a grant. It checks all the boxes that you folks are portraying and speaking on. So. I just think all efforts have to be exhausted when, to do that. And that's where I'm at. I want skin in the game no matter what it looks like. I mean, it doesn't have to be your skin, it doesn't have to be your money, but at least go out and try to facilitate it, get it, and raise it.
I just wanted to add, I'm in my 10th year on the commission here, and this is probably the most input I've got on a decision that we have to make from anybody on it, so I appreciate all the comments on that. But, you know, in the past, I guess I was just looking at, we've contributed to especially groups like the soccer field here, the softball diamond, the Friendship Park. We do to the airport, the Rough Rider Commission and that, and I just feel we should move forward with these repairs on there and pay for them. We had some CARES funding that we moved over to our general fund, and I know part of that criteria was to use it for events for the people that are in outdoor type of activities, and I think this would be a good thing, and I think we should move forward with these repairs and accept TUSA's construction bid and move forward with that, but that's my opinion on it.
So, if you want to go ahead.
I may repeat myself, Commissioner Messer, your statements reflect exactly what I was trying to say, as you do a very prudent, analytical approach to your stuff, and I appreciate that more than you know. Now, when you talk about skin in the game, I don't know how much more skin we can have as a group put in that place. I mean, Paul just told you what, I told you what we accomplished. I'm not trying to be negative here or anything, but I would just ask for another sincere analytical opinion, and that is, who's got skin in the game in the fairgrounds? Where, I mean, you guys are making this approach, the club should maybe raise some money, we can do this, we can do that, and those are all great suggestions, they really are. I mean, to see everybody make an effort for this thing to continue is great. But how much was done with the general public skin to create the fairground? What did that cost to build that, that facility, which is continuing to be prohibitive a lot of times too?
Can I try to answer that for you?
Yeah.
So when the Speedway was done, it was the lots that many people in here own homes on. When the fairgrounds was done, it was the land to the west of Highway 10 when it was decided that no longer that should be where the fairgrounds were, because they didn't, the city didn't, or whatever it was, the group at that point didn't want all of the things that came with the fairground. So they sold all that land, and the vast majority of the improvements that are on the fairground was with that money. The what I'm aware of as far as where taxpayer dollars are would have been the restrooms that we did last year in that regard. And that was in the park board, capital improvements fund, of which at one point had as much as $1.3 million in it. And I believe a lot of that money also came, I don't want to be held to it, also was from the sale of that land to the west of the business loop. So, and just one last thing. So the ask here is $230,000. Well, it's going to be 300 when we're done. So just put it in perspective. That's 1 mil in Stark County. Okay, that's 1 mil of property tax, because that's where this money's going to potentially come from. We currently levy in the general fund a little over 25 mils. So we're asking for a 4% increase in the mill to the general fund. So because the park board is deleted between the restrooms and the livestock building, the money that they had in the park that we built over in the Lakeview Estates. So that money's been used up. We don't have a big reserve setting for other projects. We do have, Brad mentioned the 40,000 that was referenced at one point to do improvements. I told Brad if we committed to that, we need to own that. So I hope that helps too. So we're asking for a 4% increase to get to that $250,000 or $300,000 to do those improvements. So just food for thought.
I would like to add a little bit, Mr. Miller. I hope that the term "skin in the game" doesn't offend you.
No, it doesn't at all.
I really don't.
I try to.
But I will say this: that I've only been here 3 years, 3.5 years. there has been a shift towards this type of idea where there is a partnership. I mean, yes, we just built a livestock building out there, okay? Now, we worked with the Fair Association, they garnered or gathered up a grant, okay? That was a contribution on their side. We're working with 4-H. Those people did a heck of a lot of legwork to even design that building, and also they're gonna help us outfit it. So instead of using the term skin in the game, it's partnership. That's how I look at it. I just want to, a firm partnership. And like I said, this new group has come and they've expressed interest. I think it's my job as a commissioner to make sure that they're serious and they want to be a partner. And so, I mean, I apologize for the apprehension,
Oh, I'm not offended at all, Commissioner.
yeah, I just want to make sure it's like we're going to foster a partnership going forward here. That's not a one-way street.
Correct.
And right,
Correct.
that's what a partnership is. It's a two-way street. So
I think we can agree we use skin in the game as kind of a metaphor.
yeah.
I would suggest maybe using public interest. And the public interest we have demonstrated to create that facility, I don't know if it's been matched by public interest in creating the fairground. That's what I'm saying is, there is a deep passion for the racing community. And people are willing to put their money where their mouth is. And I'm not saying anything negative about the fairground. I love it. I'm a farmer myself. I was. So animals and things like that, that's great. It's just that the dollars they spend out there sometimes leaves me pause. And I'll give you an example, and I'm not trying to critique too deeply, but several meetings ago, there was, we're going over change ups to construction and whatever out at the fairground. They're talking about some special dirt mix that we need for the livestock building. I mean, I shook my head and I thought, I've had cattle for 30 years. They haven't complained about the dirt. I don't understand the rationale there, but there must be
No, that
some
ain't-
rationale there
That
too.
ain't happening.
That
Trust
decision
me.
hasn't been made.
It's just a little bit different, but yeah, the skin in the game, it's a metaphor for interest in the facility.
I just want to make sure we have a strong partner going forward, and I met with those guys, and I'm willing to always. I mean, I think I try to give you as much information, and I think you guys are close. You're not quite where you need to be, but you'll get there. But that was my deal. Because you know what, I give a lot of kudos to that original Rough Rider Race Association. I mean, there was a lot of great things done there. I mean, the buildings that they've done. I mean, there was skin in the game, and. In visiting with a couple of board members, the new board members, there's an example out here, right in Dickinson, North Dakota, that I told them is that you guys don't have to recreate the wheel here. There's organizations that do what you're doing. I mean, Dickinson Hockey Club literally has given millions of dollars to build facilities, and not just for hockey. And that's just a really strong organization. No, I'm fully aware they have a gaming. They have a gaming component that's been very strong for them. But that's the type of partnership, and they've had a strong partnership with Dickinson Parks and Rec and the city of Dickinson, and they've done some great things. And that's the type of partnership that I'm seeking with you guys. I want that kind of commitment, and I think it's totally possible.
Yeah, and that's what I'm looking for too. I'm hoping that we can progress with all of these assets that we currently have something that we can brag about, At our community has something to offer that maybe not everybody does.
Yeah.
So thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So, I have a quick question while Frank comes up. So Neil, last time that we put money into it was what, 2005? Is that where you were at?
The concession stands, now somebody said, oh, you built a different concession stand. Yeah,
That was on the south side.
Bought that 5 or 10 acres, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I think that was.
Well, about,
before Paul.
yeah, about that, where we had that fence
The fence
through,
problem,
yeah.
yeah.
So we did spend that, but the concession stand was in 2008.
So that's 18 years since we actually put money back into it?
Yeah, I'm not disputing that. I'm saying currently we're getting $50 a year because
I'm
we
just
were
saying.
trying to recover from whatever happened out there. At one point, Frank stand to correct me, it was in the 5-digit range. Oh, there he is.
$5,000 and one.
5,001?
Paid.
Yeah, okay.
$5,000
So,
for the track, $1 for the tractor.
okay. Okay, so, those are the kind of things I'm looking at from, I know I'm Mr. Tightwad, I apologize.
That's
but,
fine. You know, and then you mentioned people that, I've only had one person call me that didn't think that we should put this into, you know, and I've had multiple ones that
Yeah,
have been the other
but see,
side.
I don't look at it as a yes or no. I looked at it as let's do a different approach than all in or not all in. And right there, she said the public partnership, and I just immediately thought of third. That's where I was at. So apologize,
Fine.
Frank.
Go ahead, Frank.
I would, before you get going, Frank, and another thing here. So this is great what you've given us, but I mean, we all know that there's so many more details that need to be worked out. And I mentioned this in our meeting. I think it's really important that there's a clear expectation between county and what we expect of you, and those expectations are not here yet. We haven't.
That needs to be drawn out in your guys' lease though.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean,
So
but,
it's cut and dry.
yes, but I mean, I think there needs to be a collaboration between us and your group.
Yes.
To what you can actually handle and what we will agree to.
Well, and I think that comes up too with kind of what everybody's been bringing up here is, you know, I mean, same thing with the amount of time and all that stuff. But we're starting out fresh.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of feel like right now, like, from everything that's been said, and we've gone over this and over this and over this and over this, we have been beating a dead horse on this right now. But the repairs that have come up to this point, like, we have talked about this as a group, and like, we've been bringing this up and bringing this up and bringing this up, and we've talked about all that. But right now, like, we don't, if we went out right now and tried to find sponsorships for this year and done everything to make ourselves successful for this coming season or whatever we do in the next year, there isn't an amount of money that I think that we could get that would sustain us, make us successful, and then try to put towards repairs that should have been done, you know? I'm saying moving forward, once we get established and once we start moving, same thing with what Brad had just said with your guys' lease and ours, letting everybody know and being transparent about what we want from the other one.
Well,
What
I
we
mean,
think should happen, you know?
I agree with you, and I think that's why maybe we're talking about the slow roll here, because
Yeah.
there's a lot that needs to happen here. I mean, 26, we've already talked about, is gonna be an abbreviated season, right? No, probably. I
Yes,
mean,
more than likely.
yes. And so working towards, you know, the true buildup of 27, where you guys will have your wheels under you as a group. I mean, you guys have maybe the bolts on, but you haven't tightened the wheels
No,
yet.
and we know
Yeah.
we haven't, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, that's,
Yeah.
yeah. We know we've got work to do and we
Yeah.
know that, yeah, we've got a bit of a road ahead of us, but.
I'm confident you can get it done.
We do
I mean, you
too,
got the
yes.
passion, you guys wanna do it, but, I mean,
As far as the sponsorships for the year, you know, it's, as somebody that owns a business and sponsors cars, Jeff Miller's, grandsons came to me for a sponsorship, and I told them that, you know, what's gonna happen with the track depends on the sponsorship. I said, so, as far as you guys thinking that we're gonna go out and get grants and sponsors this year, when you don't know if you're gonna have 2 races or 5 races. That's pretty hard to sell to somebody that's gonna give you money. And so, the 2026 season, you know, get the track repaired, you know. We can all agree that, you guys, own the track, correct? Okay, so if I was gonna sell you a pickup and it needed a motor, would you wanna buy it before it was fixed or after? You know what I'm saying? At your expense? So, I mean, you know, it's weird that this has gotta be drug out 3 meetings already.
Yeah.
4?
It's another business
5
owner.
years? Yeah.
To be honest, I asked for the repairs year 1, so.
You know, you want us to, you know, we'd be more than happy to partnership. We really would. But we can't, I mean, we're starting from scratch. We're getting, one of us on that piece of paper are gonna have to put up to $1,500 or $2,000 to pay for the attorney fee to even get started.
To be fair, they've already spent 20 that they didn't have. Now they gotta spend 20 more to
Right.
pay me the rest of my money. So,
have you guys looked into reviving the original Rough Rider Rough Rider Association? There was a nonprofit there.
I did not check into that. I checked into a new one. I didn't.
Probably
I
expired.
didn't know that was possible.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's,
So at that point, are you moving forward or are you moving backwards?
I think we should move forward here. I'm gonna make a motion that we approve Tew's construction low bid for $230,000 for repairs at the Speedway.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion?
So I would like to know on the Two's bid, on the Willie Wynn bid for the wall that is the 475 feet of wall, that's the west wall with the catch fence? That is,
that's in front of the grandstands, right?
or, well, that's not west, that's
Or it's-
north.
It runs along.
So the wall goes where the current guardrail is.
Yeah.
To hold back the sloughing of the hillside.
Right.
And which also includes, and I didn't read your guys' bid, what it looked like, but when Tew's and Wynn came out there, it was putting up the concrete wall, re-anchoring the catch fence, so,
Drain tile too.
and then, yeah, cutting a drain tile in front of where the current catch fence is. I don't know if that's what was submitted or what your guys' request was.
Yeah.
I'm not a contractor, so I didn't.
That was part of the bid, yep.
So my question then as a follow-up is, Willie Wynn was very explicit, he's putting in a 12-inch wall, 6 foot high. Two's has a 475-foot wall, but it's not, I'm assuming it's a 12-inch wall, but we don't have it specified in the bid.
It looks by 5
foot?
Or is it,
75 by 5 feet, yep.
but it doesn't say the thickness of the wall.
I mean, there's a consideration here. And we've,
I mean, we can approve this subject to getting a 12-inch wall, but I'm saying if we're approving the Two's bid, let's just be careful. I mean, that's my arena, so I'm a little skeptical when I get bids.
I can tell you that, to be fair, those were the only two that came out and physically looked at it.
Right, but-
So I understand your hesitation, but they're the ones that physically saw what needed to be done.
I
So
get it, but we don't have that in our bid, and we're a public entity, and I can tell you that if we did something, we've done it in the past where you don't do the bid right, and you gotta start all over again. And
Copy.
so that's what I'm trying to.
So you're saying go for wins?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you're accepting a bid, it better be subject to a 12-inch wall, not a 10 or an 8-inch wall.
You make a motion to commit to the investment itself? And then you get the details. And get a vote on the commitment?
Clarified a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, we just had this I mean, there's new information about lighting too. This bid, this $230,000 bid included new lighting too.
Yes, it did.
Yeah,
And
because
that may not be necessary.
Right.
I mean, it still may be, but I mean, I think there is a possibility that there is.
But you know what? It's gonna be necessary at some point.
Yeah, the bulbs, you can't get, I mean, you can find replacements
find-
wood down the road. When these burn out, what are you gonna have then? The same thing again.
It's another one of those.
Yeah, these were new LED lights and they had the laser pointer on them too, so I would think it would last for a few years.
I would like to see you guys make a motion to either.
That's what I just did.
Exactly that's where we're at right now.
Call the vote.
Dean, would you like to
Yes.
amend your motion to,
No, I'm not amending it. I'm
Okay.
going to forward
Okay.
this.
okay, any other discussion? Okay. Roll call vote, Commissioner White,
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh,
Aye.
Commissioner Messer,
No.
Commissioner Claris,
Aye.
Commissioner Franchuk,
Aye.
Courtney.
I have to abstain.
Okay. And chair votes aye. Motion carries. Okay, I guess that's the last thing on our agenda. Appreciate everybody coming. Thank you very much.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Guess we'll need a motion to adjourn.
You better sharpen that agreement